finally got in the new Jada Toys Mega Man figures. They made Cut Man and Elec Man from the first Mega Man game to go along with the really awesome figures already opened. I have a video showing the other ones if you haven't seen them. Open these up and take a look. There's some interesting notes we'll have to go over with these. Really needing Guts Man and Bomb Man to finish the set, but on the back of the box they just have pictures of the character that's in the package, so they kind of stopped hinting other characters like the old boxes were showing. So I'm holding out hope that we'll get the full set here. But just like the game, probably start with Cut Man. Or at least that's what I always did as a kid, because I always just fought them in order like a fool for some reason, instead of following the weaknesses. Only figured that out in the other games as they came out. We have Cut Man as he is out of the box. Comes with the alternate head. I guess what's kind of interesting to note here we just have kind of a painted on mouth for this one, and then the side eye we have a molded mouth, like open. So it has like depth in there, so it's kind of interesting, like extra detail they put into these. There's really not really one preferred head. I'd say you could probably go with either one. I mean, whatever you want. Got the kind of handle ears, if you want to call them that. But what is kind of cool, they did the extra detail from those like character sheets, which I'm not sure when exactly those were drawn or made. They were done at the same time of the game, but I mean, not details that you would see in the game, with this like back area and then all the bits on the back of the helmet and everything of his head. They went all out with the detail. They don't hold anything back, anything on those character sheets. They color and mold and do it all, so I mean, even bits like the lining here between the body and this, and not just the normal straight to the coloring. And of course these aren't colored like the game or anything, where Cut Man almost kind of looked like maroon red weirdly in the first game. This is just like the straight artwork, like orange. So he has fists on out of the box, and we kind of have two open different kind of hands here, which are useful since he kind of throws his scissors. Might be good to pose that way. Speaking of the scissors, it comes with the stand where you kind of put the weapon like he's throwing it there that some of the other first wave came with. That's pretty cool. And then we have the scissor piece. I guess what I didn't realize is that it actually does kind of move. You can open it up and close it. So that's the hyper cutter there, movable, pretty cool. And then it's the silver instead of just like the white like his body, which a lot of toys and images and stuff will just do, like just color it white. Here they went the extra mile. Gray tones on the figure, and then like a silvery for the actual scissor blades. They didn't hold anything back. Didn't do any lazy coloring and missing paint apps like, oh, you know, at least several other toy companies you could probably state. Of course, he just has the hole on the top of the heads where we can just pop in the scissor piece to complete his look all the way. So it's one I probably wouldn't even really want to pose with the stand, but it's cool that it is an option that you can have him be kind of throwing the scissors if you want the action kind of shots, action display, but you want it to look like the character normally does. You kind of want it parked on top of the head there. Makes him super tall though. I mean, it's a full size there with the blades. It's funny, Cut Man's almost kind of like the #1 boss enemy of Mega Man. It's just like robot with scissors on his head. Who would have thought that would be the lasting concept? Even, you know, he was like in later Mega Man game, like a secret boss even, so got to be continued on in the games. So I think since what they're able to do here, they just have to mold the bit here with like the extra detail, the backpack, and then the rest of these bits are basically just Mega Man's body pieces, just colored to be like Cut Man. Got the little boot thing there, his is yellow, a lot of them would have red on the bottom. Again, these have pretty good range of motion, and they're not super expensive figures. They're not like $30, $40 ultra collector figures. They're reasonably priced. They come with a lot, and they don't hold back anything with the details. So Cut Man pretty much has everything that I would want him to have. And then that alternate head with the molded mouth. So it just kind of depends how crazy you want him. If you want him doing his little cheeky side-eye grin here, or just the straight angry look there. Just about everything you could want, and then a lot of options for the scissor throw. Since it's just a little hook bit there, you can kind of put the scissors in any way you want. So there's not going to be any limited way to plug that in either. And with the opening and closing, everything's here that I would want to be here. And so we will use Cut Man's weapon to fight Elec Man. Haha, because that is a good weapon to use on Elec Man. So Elec Man has his electrical effect here, but no stand to hold it up. So Elec Man with his mask, little bolt. I don't know if it shows up very good on the video, but these aren't just flat colors. There's kind of a spray around there, just kind of a weird detail that they've included on some of these. Just a little extra bit, and again with him, he's got extra colors because they have the kind of strange back details that a lot of them have from those character sheets. So again, nothing excluded, nothing left out. They could have just left the backs blank. Nobody probably would have really said anything too much, couldn't complain too much about it, but they went all out on them, so they're very definitive figures. And it looks like his chest thing is kind of like its own piece. I don't know if it's really intended to be removable. I think it's stuck on there, but instead of molding a whole thing, they just added this as a soft plastic piece. And again, he just comes with the fist default. And then the alternate hands, we got a pointing finger and a thumbs up. Interesting choice there. So like his little electrical effect, you kind of can loop it around the arm, and then maybe you'd want to use that pointing finger like he's kind of shooting the electricity out. It's not real versatile. You can probably put it in a few positions, but I mean mostly since there's no stand, it's got to be on his arm in some way. Doesn't really go much anywhere else. But that might make it kind of handier because I don't know if my shelf has enough space for every boss to have an individual stand to hold like their shot, like, you know, Iceman shooting a slasher out, or like Cutman here throwing his cutter. Elec Man will just be able to have this on his body so he can kind of have some electricity. You know, if you want to save space, he's shooting it up or forward or side, whichever way you want to turn it to have him on there. If you want him to have the effect, or if you just want the boss standing there. Plenty of options with these, because again here we just have this head with the mouth that's just like a little painted line. Look at this tiny little nose. But then again here we have the mouth that's like fully molded, fully painted. So this one's actually kind of like the more exciting like head, like more details, because it has the open mouth, but he looks insane here. I don't know if like the eyes are a little bit different even than the other head. Here they're just like this, and then here he has like painted anime eyes, so I don't know why they went extra with this one, but wow. Wahaha! You're having way too much fun with this head. Aha! I saw you, I know what you did. I really like these. These are like kind of definitive of the characters, like straight off of those character sheets. Even the colors is kind of like, I don't know how you'd even describe this color, this weird orangey that he is. It's just kind of funny to think about the older toys that I would have had as a kid. The Elec Man from like the Mega Man cartoon, and it's like they tried to make the costume kind of like the game, but there's a few little details there, and then he's got like a red instead of the orange, but he did follow the formula for the most part. I would have killed to have either of these as a kid. I was like, I wish I would have had this one. I've only had to collect this like recently, because that's what I usually do here, is collect old toys from the past, but I do like stuff like these Jada Toys, like the Mega Man. It's like dream figures that I wish I would have had as a kid, because I was always playing all the Mega Man games on NES, but I couldn't always have control of the TV to be playing the games. So I was always playing with all my action figures and toys, and I would love to just continue the action and been playing Mega Man more than just what I had with the Ruby Spears, like cartoon ones. You know, we only had a few characters on that one. But I have high hopes for this line that we'll get tons of different bosses, and I just hope we can get complete sets is what I would prefer for me, instead of jumping all over up and down and making like crazy characters. But I know like it'd kind of be weird to just do straight like, here's all the Mega Man 1 figures, okay, we're done, doing on the Mega Man 2. Like, I get that you kind of want to jump around in case somebody's like only likes certain ones, like maybe only like Super Nintendo ones or something, maybe they want to get to those later ones quicker. But I'm very excited to have like Mega Man 1, because that is the one I started playing. That's actually like the first video game I ever saw was Mega Man 1, so that's what got me hooked from the start right there. Like, Mega Man was a Nintendo like character for me, like defined the system. Like, he was like a mascot for me just as much as Mario, that I would have only seen after. So this really represents like the start of my gaming life, you know, Mega Man 1. And these figures do like super good justice to them with like the full details and kind of the big head like style. So very excited with this line. I usually don't collect a lot of new lines. I usually am opening up old action figures or showing old collections that I have. But anything retro inspired like this, I might check out, and you never know. If you like to see older toys from this time period, you want to stick around here, and I'll definitely be getting more Jada figures as they come out. I've already seen more coming that I probably am going to want pretty badly, so at least stick around until that time comes, and I'll show them just as thoroughly as these. So hopefully I'll get to see you in the next video that way.